Hey friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and I hopefully sell them for a profit. Today I have 6 items that I am shipping that sold yesterday. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, and these are the items that sold within the past 24 hours-ish. So I have a gross sales amount of $169.47. So stick around to the end. I will share my total profit for the day. I'm starting off with a good one. These are, here, I'll show you this one, I guess. It doesn't really matter. These are little booties. They are Vionic right there. I Google image searched them and they are the Shauna. It does say they are weather resistant. They feel like suede, kind of. I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere that they are suede. Actually, it says Shauna in the little tag. Anyway, these actually have a really good sell-through rate. So the average sale price for a used pair, which these are, is $33.43 and 50% sell-through rate. So that is gonna look like the same amount sold as listed. Other YouTubers might call that 100% sell-through rate. I don't. I calculate it as solds divided by the amount sold and the amount listed added together. That's the way Terapeak does it, and that's how I research for this video. So I just like to keep it consistent. I don't care how other people do it. I'm just telling you that that's how I do it. Okay. Mine sold for $35 plus shipping on eBay. I bought these. I had an accidental thrifting situation where I didn't mean to go thrifting, but I did anyway. I just looked up. I bought 13 items. Is that correct? And I've already sold 5 of those. So I think that's great. It was only like 2 weeks ago. I listed these right about 2 weeks ago. I paid $6 for them, and my profit is $28.19. And I'm putting them in a priority shoebox, and I put like recycled paper bags in there just so that they don't like bump around. That's gonna be loud for me to rip that, so I'm gonna do it in a little bit. I did think we could talk today about some of the negative experiences that happen on eBay and Poshmark when we're reselling. I've had somebody in the comments talk about it and said that they wanted to talk about it kind of publicly. And one of the words that was used was like kind of online therapy, right? Sometimes it just kind of stinks that these bad things happen. So, or not bad, but just negative things. This is a little nightgown, believe it or not. It has like a little cross detail, super cute. This is the brand Soma, which is really expensive, like lingerie. They sell bras and loungewear and sleepwear, things like that. But I just thought the print was really cute, and I found it, yeah, at the bins. So this was in my President's Day bins haul, the last bins haul that I did. Soma nightgowns have an average sale price of $16.44 and a 22% sell-through rate. Mine sold for $15 plus shipping on eBay. And I paid about $2 for it. That's what I put as my cost of goods. The bins is where you pay by the pound. So mine, where I go, is in the Indianapolis area, Indiana, and it's $1.79 a pound. So this actually, I mean, it looks little, but it's actually pretty heavyweight. Let's see how much it is. Let's see how distracted I can get today. 12 ounces, 13 ounces. So just under, so probably $1.50, but I put my cost of goods at $2 because that's about what my bins cost of goods usually average out to be. My profit's $11.41. Okay, so First thing I thought I would talk about, I almost wonder if I should talk about it at the end. Is it better if I talk about it at the end? I don't know if I have time in between. I guess I'm like just talking about nothing right now, so. Yikes. All right, this is a raincoat. It is a kid's raincoat. It is Hannah Anderson is the brand. All right, there. Hannah Anderson is spelled weird, just so you are aware. Make sure you spell it correctly. So, Hannah Anderson raincoats have an average sale price of $14.74, 25% sell-through rate. It's like the perfect time of year for a raincoat to sell. It actually was pouring when I woke up this morning. Like the rain woke me up. It was so loud. Mine sold for $19.96 plus shipping, so $29.47 was what the buyer paid. It sold in just about 3 weeks is how long I had that listed. Again, this was in my President's Day bins haul. I know 2 weeks and 3 weeks. I don't list everything all at once. It takes me time to get through it. Yeah, again, $2 cost of goods. This probably weighs a little more than a pound. Actually, I know it does. But my profit is $15.38. Yeah, so just putting the $2 cost of goods is what makes it easy for me. I think I have decided I'm just going to wait and talk about it at the end. So I think I'll be able to concentrate a little better and not get super distracted, because I'll get distracted both ways, right? I'll get distracted from the shipping stuff, and then I'll also be distracted from the VeROs and the returns and the negative feedback. And just wanted to talk about some of my experiences with it, mostly so you don't feel alone. All right, this is a little pleated skirt. I did use Academia and maybe Schoolgirl, I don't know. This is the brand Norma Kamali, which I have heard of and never sold before. But I have this now, and then also, that's weird. There's like a thing on my shirt. I've just never noticed it before. It should, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I'm looking for like hair and stuff. That's what, if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I don't know what I was saying. Wait, there should be a counter. Like, how many times does Jen get distracted in the video? Okay, so the Norma Kamali skirt, when I search on Terapeak, which I think they're changing the name of, I'll have more on that later. But on Terapeak, which is where I search everything, which is in your eBay store if you have one, on the top bar, it says research. There's a pull down tab that says Terapeak product research. I just type Norma Kamali skirt in there, and it tells me that I have a $47.52 average sale price and a 13% sell-through rate. Now, mine did not sell that high. It sold for $25 on Poshmark, but the ones that sold in this similar style were like $19. I think one was priced at $9. So I am very happy with $25 on this skirt. I think the ones that were selling higher in like the $60 mark, they were midi length and they were vintage, like 80s vintage. This did not seem vintage to me at all. There was nothing that said it was. Excuse me. Just clearing my throat. So anyway, it sounds like I sold it way less, but I didn't actually. And then I also wanted to say that, you know, sell-through rate's an average, average sale price is an average. So there is going to be low ends of those and high ends of those. So just keep that in mind. I only paid 79 cents for this at a local thrift store where I get really low cost of goods. My profit's $17.19. Not sad about it at all. Oh my goodness. Baby overalls. Nothing cuter. These are toddler overalls actually. And these are Wrangler. They have the little W on there. Let's see. Is there any other Wrangler? I think it just says it like on the snaps. It doesn't seem to be a tag. Oh, my light doesn't like me today. There we go. Anyway, little baby toddler Wrangler overalls. They have an average sale price of $9.17, but a 24% sell-through rate, which I think is decent. I look for 25% when I'm shopping, but overall, it's just something I buy if it's a decent brand and in good condition. So these sold for $17 on Poshmark, which I thought was great. They did sell with a shipping discount, so did the skirt. So that means an offer was sent to, I sent an offer to whoever bought it. Just trying to decide what envelope I'm using. My padded flat rates, which are my favorite. I'm out. I gotta get more. They're stored up there. I gotta get more of them. Anyway, I bought these at a local consignment sale that we have in our area like twice a year. And I paid $2 for them. So what does that make my profit? $9.58. I think that's pretty good for little toddler things. Overalls. I forgot what they were called. And then I have a belt. I have started looking, like actively looking for belts. I think they're so easy. They store really easy. This one is Tommy Bahama, and it is one of those like reversible ones, I think. Maybe it's not. Yes, it is. Where you like twist the thing and then it's brown and then it's black and whatever. I don't know what I was going to say. Tommy Bahama, this one is a leather belt. Has an average sale price of $18.06, 31% sell-through rate. Mine sold for $22 plus shipping on eBay. And I bought it at the bins. I don't know when. It sold in a little over a month, so maybe my Christmas bins haul. Not really sure. The profit was $17.28. And I'm gonna reuse a box that's already been used. So these are eBay branded. They are 8 by 6 by 4, which is way too big for a belt, but I'll stuff it with either, I have air pockets like these that come in like my Amazon packages, or I'll use the paper bag as well. But I'm gonna do that in a minute. Okay, so let's talk about some of the negative stuff. And really, I just want to talk about my personal experiences with it. I actually have a return right here. I think returns are probably the easiest to deal with. They're kind of annoying. But I take returns. I don't do free returns. And that means I'm not a top rated plus seller. I'm just a top rated seller. Not just, I mean, that's pretty good, I guess, but I don't have 1-day shipping and I don't have free returns. And those are both required to be a top rated plus seller. I have thought about doing both of those things. I mean, I do ship every day. I just have that like, what happens if my kids get sick in the middle of the night? And one day I am like, I can't ship. That happens, right? And then the free returns, I was going to do the math and see if that would actually work for me, but I haven't done that yet. Anyway, regardless, I take returns. They're not free returns. So I think that does help some things. I have gotten, somebody was really mad because they bought like a really not expensive item, and then by the time they paid for the shipping to them and then the return shipping, like their refund was not much. And you know, I apologized. I said that I understood, but also explained, like, I'm not Walmart. I'm just a mom in her garage. I mean, I don't say in my garage, but just a mom in her garage trying to help make money for my family. So, you know, I'm not able to just do free returns. It's not Amazon. Anyway, most people are kind and understanding, and sometimes the one person who was really irate, I did refund like her original shipping, which is at a loss to me. But I felt like the customer care was more important at that point than the $7 or whatever that she had paid in shipping. So this person returned these shoes because they didn't fit. They're Earth Origins, and they're like suede sneakers. I think I sold them for like $3-ish. There we go. Anyway, $30-ish, not $3-ish. I don't sell stuff for $3. They do have a bunch of hair on them, which they didn't when they left, so that's not ideal. I'm gonna have to clean those up. I just examine them and make sure that they're in the condition that I bought them in, or I sent them in, and then I refund the money. I mean, it's frustrating, it's annoying. The hardest part, I think, is when you do get returns for item not as described. And then I do have to, you know, pay for the return. But for me, that's better than a negative, you know, getting a negative remark on there. I'm trying to think of the last time I had an item not as described return. Somebody opened a case on Poshmark saying that it wasn't, the size didn't match up with the measurements, but I have all the measurements in the pictures, and I never got any follow-up from Poshmark saying what they decided. I haven't gotten that return, but I also don't know if maybe they took money from my account. I need to check into that, actually. Happened a couple weeks ago and I kind of forgot about it. I'm trying to think of what other returns situations there have been. I mean, I have lots of returns. It's actually not been very many this month. In January, there were quite a few, which makes sense because of, you know, Christmas and December. But returns just kind of happen. I did have a VeRO experience. VeRO, I forget what it stands for, and I don't know. I mean, there's a huge list of things, but basically, some brands just say, like, you can't either at all sell their items, or you can't use, I never use stock photos, but some people do, and you can get a VeRO or in trouble for using a stock photo. It's not legal or ethical, in my opinion, to use a stock photo. If you do, I still care about you, but I don't think it's right. It's somebody else's work and you're using it as your own. So that's why I think it's wrong. What was I going to say? Oh, so the other thing is with the VeRO is if you have counterfeit items. And so that is what was, what I was given was a counterfeit item. The weird thing is, like, when I think of counterfeit items, I think of like Coach purses, and like a long time ago, I found a Christian Dior scarf, and it was super new to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, it was not Christian Dior. It had it was like a Christian Dior sticker on the scarf. I don't even know why I thought it was real. Anyway, that got taken down real fast. And for good reason. I mean, I should have, it was just ignorance on my part. I just didn't know. But this one, it was the Comfy, which is like a big hoodie sweatshirt. I mean, it's ginormous, and it's like a fleece blanket hoodie. So it's like a wearable blanket They said it was counterfeit. I'm like, how do you know that? I don't know. Anyway, it got taken down on eBay. Whatever, it'll get worn around my house. Actually, I think it's still up on Poshmark. Poshmark doesn't have VeRO that I'm aware of. It is illegal to sell counterfeit items. I don't think that this is actually counterfeit. Like, who's counterfeiting a comfy? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I certainly don't want to do anything that's illegal or wrong or unethical. Maybe I should just take it down off Poshmark. I don't know. Okay, anyway, that's my VeRO experience. I actually had another one that they took down, and it was like a Victoria's Secret bodysuit, and they said that I couldn't sell it because it was used lingerie. Okay, I don't know. It's down, whatever. The other thing is negatives. Negatives stink, like a negative review. I did just get like a 2-star something on Poshmark, and they were real like nasty about it, but it wasn't really anything that I did. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember it. I just remember it being a 2-star, and I was like, wow. Actually, maybe it was the same person that I got that tried to return it. That might be it. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I certainly don't ever want to make people upset, but negatives can affect your store. I hear multiple things like, oh, it doesn't actually affect it. Once you have so many sales, it's like very insignificant. But the last time I did get a negative, it did affect my store. Like my sales tanked for like a week until it was rectified. So what happened was I sold a bowling ball, which is really dumb. I know nothing about bowling. I know nothing about bowling balls. Yeah, I had no business selling this bowling ball. But a good friend of ours, we had like a joint garage sale. We were, last year, we were raising money for our daughters to go to this dance camp thing. And so, he brought over these bowling balls. There were 2 of them, and he was like, I don't know what you want to do with these. So, I was like, oh, well, I'll look them up. And so I looked them up, and I'm like, bowling balls sell. Well, I don't have an appropriate scale. So I thought my like weight on the bowling ball was appropriate or was accurate. It wasn't accurate. I don't think it might have been accurate. It may have, I don't know. The thing with the negatives and the returns is there are scammers in the world. There are people who try to take advantage and try to get free things. And I just try to believe the best in people. And you know what? If they got a free bowling ball out of me, so be it. I don't know. But basically, I sold the bowling ball. They left negative a review saying the bowling ball was incorrectly weighed, that it was not the right weight. I reached out and said, hey, I will gladly take the bowling ball back and return you your money. That's always my first response when people either message me or leave negative feedback, because I don't want the negative, but honestly, I don't want them to be unhappy. So they said, no, it doesn't matter. It would cost me too much to ship it back to you. And I've already got the holes drilled. So I had sent it undrilled. You know, the holes where your fingers go into bowl. I don't know. So I was like, well, I can't do anything about what you paid to have it drilled, but I will pay your return shipping. If it's my fault, I'm going to pay the return shipping. And they said no and left it. And then my sales tanked. And so, you know, a week later, I was like, I got to do something about this. So I reached out and I was like, I would really like to rectify this. What can I do to make you happy? And they, you know, just said, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was a few months ago. But basically just wanted most of their money back. So I gave them most of their money back. They changed the feedback and it was like high praise. it was kind of strange how high it was. I would think like after a negative experience, if you're changing your feedback, it would go to kind of more neutral, but I don't know. I wasn't the one leaving it. So I was grateful. And my sales did pick back up. So I do think that there is a correlation. I have no proof of that, just my personal experience with it. All that to say, there are negative things to this business. I think probably to every business. There are, negative things that happen, and it's frustrating. It can be really disappointed. And I know there are people who have gotten scammed out of big money from returns and negatives, and that makes my heart really sad for them, because that's awful. That's really, really awful. But it happens. I mean, I guess part of the fact that I'm like, it happens is, most of my stuff sells for like 20 bucks. And so if I'm out 20 bucks, it's 20 bucks. But I do know that there are people who sell things for thousands of dollars, and that would be really devastating to them. That would be devastating to me if that happened. So my heart certainly hurts with you when that happens. So I don't know that I have anything more to say about that. That was really just rambly. But would you leave in the comments your experiences? Have you had good ones, bad ones? Do you think negatives affect your sales? I would love to know all the things. I'm going to stop talking now. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I really just appreciate you hanging out with me so I can share my sales and share my thoughts on all things reselling. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you soon.